Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick 23 of albums that are 40 years old in 2024. That's right, we're looking back on the great year of 1984, 29 days in the month. We're picking out our 29 favorite albums across all genres each and every day here this month. So today for pick number 23, this is the 10th studio album from this British band. Although now, at this point in time, they were kind of like a British-American band. This album was released in March of 1984, recorded at Arnie's Shack in Poole, Dorset, as well as Marcus Studios in London and Bearsville Studios in Woodstock, New York. Produced by the band for EG/Warner Brothers Records. I'm talking about Three of a Perfect Pair by King Crimson. That's right. This is the third and last album of this kind of new version of the band at the time, right? Of course, Discipline was the first, Beat was the second, and then you had Three of a Perfect Pair, and that would be the kind of like the end run of albums from this lineup of the band, which included Mr. Robert Fripp on guitars and Frippertronics, Adrian Belew, guitars, lead vocals, Tony Levin, bass guitar, Chapman Stick, backing vocals, and Bill Bruford on acoustic and electric drums. Brad Davis engineered the album, right? So this is the period of King Crimson. Are they still a progressive rock band at the time? I guess. It's kind of new wave. It's kind of experimental. It's kind of electronic. It's kind of groovy and dancey and doesn't really rock all that much. And while it's got a lot of cool, interesting, angular guitars, I mean, Tony Levin is all over this thing. To me, this is more of a Tony Levin and Bill Bruford album because the bass, the Chapman Stick, and the drumming on this album are off the charts, but it's very kind of rhythmic and new wave and pop sort of thing, rather than, I think, Discipline, which was much more of a rockin' affair, a much more aggressive album, and a very guitar-oriented album. Not that there's not a lot of guitars on this album, because there is, but they're just presented a little bit differently. For me, when I listen to this album, I hear more of the groove, and I hear more of the kind of like the dancey rhythms and the intricate bass and drum things that are going on, but still very cool stuff. You got, of course, the title track, Three of a Perfect Pair. Most of the stuff on here is fairly short, 3 to 4 minute songs, right? You got a couple that go a little bit longer, but for the most part, pretty short. Three of a Perfect Pair, very cool, very catchy. You got Model Man is cool. Sleepless is terrific. Might be my favorite song on side one. Man with an Open Heart and New Odges, very cool. The last one's an instrumental. Again, the instrumentals on this album are kind of like, they're more laid back. They're intricate, but they're just not as bombastic as we've heard from King Crimson in the past, right? Over on side two, it starts off with Industry. Like I said, instrumental, snaking, weaving, delicate. Dig Me is fun, No Warning, another instrumental. And then, of course, you get Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 3, which has some slight similarities to Lark's Part 1 and Part 2 from the album of the same name. Pretty cool stuff. They would revisit Lark's many times throughout their career. This is very cool, I think. This is, from this album, one of the really cool guitar pieces on the album. But the whole thing, like I said, there is great guitar work on this album, don't get me wrong, but it's just presented in a little bit different way. Lots of these kind of like weaving things that Belew and Fripp are doing. But for me, I don't know, I hear this album, this is like a Tony Levin Bruford album. I can't stress it enough. But the cool vocal melodies and harmonies from Adrian on here, and this is, you can really sense that this era of the band is very much influenced by having a guy like Adrian Belew in the band, who, of course, his love for pop music and quirky Beatles-type harmonies and things, and weird guitar shapes and sounds, right? It's just very different sounding stuff from what they were doing in the 70s, for sure. And I think this version of the band would greatly influence other lineups going forward in the band, right? With or without Adrian Belew. I think even when he was still in the band. Obviously, when he's in the band, it's got more of his kind of sound, right, I think. Anyway, so I dig this album a lot. It's very cool. And let's take a look at some charting information. Canada, number 43. Germany, number 58. Japanese album charts, number 37. The UK made it to number 30. And here in the States, number 58. So not too shabby. Sleepless was released as a single in February of 1984. We would not see another King Crimson studio album for about 11 years with Thrak after this. So yeah, that's my pick for today. Three of a Perfect Pair by King Crimson. Let us know what you think of this album down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. Pick number 23, and visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, down there, get the links to our Ko-Fi page, channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. Thank you in advance for all your support there, and we'll see you tomorrow for pick number 24. Till then, I'm Pete Pardo. Enjoy your weekend and your Friday. Martin Poploff's coming up in just a little bit. Ken Golden later on today. We also got a special interview with Ron Bumblefoot Thal tonight, and UK Connection tomorrow, ranking the albums on Sunday. Lots happening here on the channel. Don't miss any of it. Till then, I'm Pete Pardo. Take care. Bye-bye.